Welcome to the Ingredients for Success podcast. I'm Jackie Rizzo, and today we have Gretchen Powers joining us. Gretchen is the Senior Director, Marketing and Member Experience for the Council for Responsible Nutrition, also known as CRN. CRN is a trade association of the dietary supplement industry, and it was founded in 1973 and based out of Washington, D.C. CRN represents dietary supplements and functional food manufacturers and ingredient suppliers like Stratum Nutrition. Welcome, Gretchen. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Yes, thanks so much for having me. And I am so happy to be here. I worked for CRN for some time. I always like to tell people it's pretty amazing the perspective I've seen from the industry working there. I started in 1999. And, during my time at CRN, we've gone from faxing press releases to now, instant engagement on social media. We've taken our newsletter from a bi-monthly print piece to now a daily newsletter for our members. We have an app. And so those are just the changes we've seen on the communication side. The supplement industry and the more substantive levels, the regulatory evolution and the continuously growing science supporting supplements. It's just been very exciting to grow with this amazing industry all these years.
Yes, that is so true. Even in my short time, I haven't been 20 years in the industry like you have. That's incredible. But even in my short time here, I've seen quite a change. It just seems like it's a rapidly moving industry. And with the pandemic this past year, we've all seen the transition that had to be made, and it had to be made quickly. And I just find that really incredible how CRN has definitely jumped in and provided our company, along with everyone else, in the industry, so much information. And one thing that I really appreciate is the customer or consumer survey you all do. As the content coordinator here, I'm just consuming everything that CRN puts out because I find it super beneficial. And so I really want to thank you for that. And just how you can help us, to be label wise and to help our customers also become label wise, so that in that we're just protecting our health especially in the midst of this pandemic.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad to hear that. It's always great to hear straight from our members that our content is of value to them. We're so pleased to support this industry that actually helps people. And in mentioning our consumer survey, in 2020, we fielded a special COVID-19 focused survey in addition to CRN's annual survey on dietary supplements. And this just really reinforced this that the people's attention to their health obviously in the pandemic and them turning to supplements. 85% of people responding to our survey reported that the pandemic was actually a reminder for them to take care of their overall health. And we found that both supplement users as well as non-users reported practicing other healthy lifestyle habits as well throughout the crisis, because their attention was, more like, how can I protect myself and stay healthy? And to that point, 43% of dietary supplement users changed their routines at the start of the pandemic. So they turned to supplements. The ones that changed their routines, of course, most of them reported increasing their intake, and there's different ways they increased their intake. Some of them added new supplements to their existing routines. For example, immunity has been on everyone's mind, and 46% did this. And then many of them were taking the same supplements more regularly because, health was at top of mind now, or increasing doses. So we were, of course, deemed an essential industry. And as you mentioned, this recent bump is preceded by regular growth over time, and 3/4 of adults in the US now report taking supplements, up from 68% back in 2015. So, 20 years, and then just this recent last 5 years, there has been just increased supplement use. And we're happy to see this. Of course, we're in the business, but just elevating everyone's health and wellness and being a part of that really inspires me, as I'm sure it does many of you at Stratum.
It definitely does. And it's so great to see. It's great to see that more and more people are becoming more health conscious today than ever before. And I do believe that that speaks to the trust in responsible companies in this industry and all that that has built.
That's right. Like, people don't, people are not just going to be taking supplements if they don't trust the companies, and if they're not getting results. And so customers depend on the industry to support their health and wellness and live better lives, as we know. And so companies like Stratum and companies that are members of CRN recognize this really important role we play. And trust is not something that just happens. We have to maintain this trust. We have to build this trust. And so at CRN, we really love to promote and celebrate the companies and the workers at these companies that make this happen. And as we mentioned before, the supplement industry was deemed essential during the pandemic. This is something that we highlighted in our 2020 annual report. And as you know, as an ingredient company, the essential designation, it does come with a lot of responsibility too.
Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. As an ingredient supplier, we are responsible to our customers, the finished brands, but we also have their finished customer in mind as well. And so knowing this, we choose our customers, and then their consumers are choosing products that are made with our ingredients, and we just want to make sure that we are seeking to better their health and looking for specific benefits that we want to deliver. And there is that trust aspect. And I am just thankful that here at Stratum, all of our ingredients are science-backed and research-backed heavily, and we're very grateful for that because it is the end in mind, and that is the consumer to better their health.
That's right. And that depth of responsibility is so important to the industry's reputation. During the pandemic, we know many companies face supply chain challenges from the increased demand of consumers wanting these products, along with the concurrent logistics and transportation and shipping challenges. And so CRN proactively engaged with our members, both domestic and internationally, to address and inform them about this COVID disrupted supply chains for ingredients and packaging. We brought in guest speakers, for example, with expertise in China and India, as well as botanicals expertise. And we brought them into our committee calls to share insights from the changing COVID landscape early in the pandemic. We wanted our members to really know what was going on so they could protect themselves against adulteration. And we communicated with the key US trade, FDA, FEMA contacts about our members' supply chain disruption issues. And together, as responsible industry, we address the supply chain challenges that resulted from this consumer demand. And we all work together, just identifying the economic adulteration and overcoming challenges with ingredient shortages. We really all had to come together as an industry to sort of protect our reputation. And still, there are issues with that, so we have to remain vigilant. And our board of directors really gives us good leadership on this. Of course, Stratum's president, Micah Osborne, was serving on our board and the executive committee of our board during the pandemic. We really benefited from the leadership of our member companies in that area.
Yes, well, I know that Micah was very pleased, and he is pleased to be a part of the leadership role there. His passion for what CRN is doing and your mission there has trickled down to the rest of us in our own company, which I'm sure is the same for many of the other board of directors and their companies as well. And for us, it has been we're just really grateful that if we have a problem or we have a question, we can go to anyone on the CRN staff and they'll be able to either answer our question or direct us to someone who can.
So Jackie, you mentioned CRN's mission, and just wanted to share that our official mission with the listeners, that it is to sustain and enhance a climate for our members to responsibly develop, manufacture, and market dietary supplements, functional food, and their nutritional ingredients. I'm always glad to hear that CRN provides value. And that's a great point also about how CRN connects people within the industry who can help each other too. It's totally a two-way street. In addition to Micah's board role, I know he served on our membership committee as well and was a new member mentor, connecting one-on-one with executives who are new to CRN to help them get the most of their membership. And it's that one-on-one and sort of networking and, you know, close connections and learning from each other that our members love. And what's great, Micah, he's such a leader. He'll be leading efforts in one of CRN's top 10 priority initiatives for 2021, increasing access to dietary supplements and functional food. And this is a new multi-year initiative, and it's aimed at improving nutrition and health by increasing access to both our products and to information about the connections between supplements, functional food, better nutrition and health. And this is just in the preliminary stages, but we're really excited about that.
Well, we are glad to be a part of that as well, and we appreciate the tools and resources CRN provides for the consumers and the stakeholders to be more educated on dietary supplements. Can you tell us, you mentioned one of the initiatives, can you tell us about some of the other ones for 2021 and just your latest resources and how our Finished brand partners can use these tools to help educate their consumers?
Yes, well, we have some pretty newly released materials that I would love to highlight. So thanks for asking about those. Another one of the top initiatives for 21 I should mention is the elevation of sports nutrition. And I know Stratum offers ingredients that definitely have sports nutrition applications, so you and your customers will appreciate this. And the research continues to demonstrate the role supplements and functional foods can play for improving performance, faster recovery, longevity. And so CRN is developing programs to showcase sports nutrition awareness and growth, while at the same time protecting these products from some unreasonable and uninformed efforts out there, like trying to restrict their sale. We are active in government relations in this area, not only education and communication. For example, we're opposing legislation that's cropping up in various states that would really inappropriately and ineffectively place age restrictions on certain sports supplements. Just a couple days ago, CRN testified at a California hearing on age restriction legislation, outlining its opposition. And our president and CEO, Steve Mister, makes key points on why age restrictions for supplements are bad for consumers, along with manufacturers and retailers. And we capsulize these reasons in the 4 Things to Know videos. And that the video brings me to the series. Like all videos in our 4 Things to Know series, this one is designed to make this topic more understandable to a broad range of audiences. So they're great for sharing with your contacts that may need to start with the basics, for example, on the age restriction topic. And we have 4 other videos in the series. In addition to the age restriction topic, we have one on probiotics, retail standard programs for supplements, and then mandatory product listing. These are all available on our website at crnusa.org/4things. So that sports nutrition, elevating sports nutrition, is one of the initiatives.
Wow, Gretchen, that is quite a bit of information that you have available and resources out there. And I am super excited, and I'm looking forward to, just the 2021 initiatives play out. And I can't wait to get my hands on them and consume all that information.
Absolutely.
It has always been so helpful. And as you know, especially with the sports nutrition, with probiotics, we also have an ingredient. Well, we have 2 ingredients, the oral probiotics, Bliss K12 and Bliss M18. And we have, with the pandemic, just seen quite an influx of interest in the immune health.
It's just incredible. And as you said, that's just really an area of exciting growth in the supplement space, the probiotics. And we really wanted to respond to that because as more and more people are turning to them, we want to make sure that they are handled correctly all along the way to when the consumer gets them, so that they are effective and consumers know what they're getting. Part of building that trust that we talked about before is making sure that they get the product that they're expecting and it does what they expect it to do. And to that end, we have this campaign about probiotics to help retailers with some of these issues. It's the Probiotics What's Inside is Alive initiative. And it really kind of breaks down the intricacies of probiotic products. As you know, these are living organisms, which is really cool in and of itself. And of course, they require special handling, packaging, and storing so that they remain viable and effective. And so with the retail buyers in mind, we have this campaign with educational materials about proper labeling of probiotic identity, quantity, viability, and then again, the storage and handling practices. Some of them may need to be kept cool, different temperatures, and then of course the various benefits of probiotics, some consumer usage data, and other need to know information. So it's just another one of the resources we have out there. There's a buyer's guide, digital book, infographic, and video that go with the campaign. And we just wanted to provide this information to help them understand how the probiotics are different from other supplements, and so they can make smart choices about the products that they offer their consumers. And if people want to check that out, that's at crnusa.org/probiotics. Pretty easy to find.
Yes, definitely. And I think everybody should check that out. As we talked about earlier, more and more consumers are becoming health conscious, and the immune health category has just boomed. And with these resources that you're providing, it's so timely, so beneficial right now. So thank you to all of you at CRN who has put in the work to do so. And I believe that there is also you've also launched a website, is that correct? And can you tell us more?
Yeah, there's there are a lot of campaigns going on right now at CRN, and another one that may be of interest to your listeners and consumers now. We've expanded on this project, the Supplement Owl. This website is accessible to consumers as well as businesses and regulators in the supplement space. Really, anyone on the internet can go there. And for those who may not be familiar, the Supplement Owl, an online wellness library, it's a voluntary product registry, as CRN spearheaded this back in 2017. The idea was to help present a more complete picture of the supplement industry for FDA. FDA has called for this mandatory product listing and expressed concerns that it can't regulate what it can't see. And so CRN wanted to build a Supplement Owl to kind of be a prototype for this and get industry aligned with this notion of transparency. So the OWL now has gained industry-wide participation. More and more finished product manufacturers are uploading their labels, and it's actually required for CRN members. I'd encourage your finished product manufacturers who may not be CRN members yet to do the same, get their product labels into the OWL, and of course look into CRN membership as well. But a company doesn't need to be a member to be in the OWL, and we encourage, like I said, all supplement companies to put their labels in the OWL. We believe it's a great model for the FDA mandatory product listing that really seems imminent. So by participating in the OWL, companies can get a feel for that kind of full transparency. They get a feel for how it would work and look in a voluntary environment to help them be ready. And we've seen that it's feasible and achievable for We've seen that it's feasible and achievable for companies of all sizes really to upload their labels and show this kind of accountability and transparency. And so we recently completed a site redesign for the OWL, wanting to make it more user-friendly. We built like the prototype in 2017. And so now as it's gaining more ground, we wanted to make it something more accessible to consumers. And anyone can use the OWL, as I said, and they can identify products, their ingredients, and the companies who market them, and examine and evaluate labels and other product information. So, and there are also links on there to other educational content for consumers, like you mentioned before, being label-wise. So it links over to our label-wise campaign at belabelwise.org as well. And if people want to check out the Supplement Owl, that is at supplementowl.org. So again, very easy to find.
Yeah, this is fantastic. These are really great resources. As we see the dietary supplement market continue to grow, we see more and more dietary supplement companies just boom and pop, startups are coming left and right. And I feel like as fantastic as that is, it can be a little overwhelming for consumers. Who are they going to trust, and how do they read the labels, and what is on it? And so you have mentioned, the Label Wise, and I think that's just a fantastic resource for consumers today.
Well, thank you. And we created the site for consumers to kind of help them understand changes that were coming to the supplement labels, and just generally enhance label literacy, like you were saying. And so on the site, there are some really great tools for consumers. An interactive infographic on how to read a supplement label, like what all the pieces really mean, conversion calculators for certain nutrients that are going to be expressed in different units. They're moving from international units to milligrams and micrograms based on changes mandated by FDA. And as you may know, the deadlines for companies to update their labels had been extended a couple times due to the pandemic, but companies were poised to comply prior to COVID anyway. So consumers are probably seeing mostly new format labels out there. And so the Be Label Wise site has great information to help them understand the new labels. And of course, one of the nutrients is vitamin D, one of the nutrients that the amount is expressed differently now as vitamin D. And that's really critical. You know, that's been a lot, it's been in the news a lot, so much, especially research news in relation to its potential impacts on COVID-19 risk. So, and that I could go on and on. That brings me to another initiative worth highlighting, and that is raising awareness about the connection between COVID-19 and vitamin D. We have a vitamin D study task force that's been developing a vitamin D and me campaign, and we're going to launch a website that tracks and summarizes research on this, as well as educational outreach, driving consumers to the data.
That is really exciting. I cannot wait for that to take off, and also to be able to get in our hands so we can see the research that you all have done, you know, especially with, you know, vitamin D and how it is with the pandemic. We are just seeing more and more articles on it. And so I'm looking forward to, we trust what CRN does, and we look forward to seeing the information that is provided through that study, through the task force and their research. Well, Gretchen, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on to the podcast today. We at Stratum love CRN. We partner with you in the mission just to help make lives better and healthier, and to be transparent and to have trust in this industry. So thank you for all the work, all the research that you all are doing. We at Stratum find it very beneficial, and we are so grateful for you all.
Well, this is the mutual admiration society here, because the feeling's absolutely mutual. There's really responsible and leading companies like Stratum that kind of are the backbone of CRN. And I'm so glad to hear that you're finding value in the membership, and we're always looking for more ways to bring this value to our members. I just want to share a little that my title you mentioned at the beginning, marketing and member experience, is new for me in 2021. And in this role, I'm connecting with CRN member company contacts to learn more about their day-to-day experiences and their jobs, so that we can upgrade how we communicate with them and provide even more valuable ways for them to engage with CRN. And something I'm especially interested in is using technology to find new ways to connect people with the information they need, as well as each other. And that it feels so in line with what you all are doing at Stratum, just partnering with the right people, staying connected, working together to elevate the industry. And one of the tools that we're giving our members to do that is our mobile app. They can get information really quickly. They can organize their committee involvement with CRN, because as you mentioned, that vitamin D study task force and even the Probiotics initiative, these things are all sort of charged and fueled with the input of our members working on our various committees and task forces too. And so with our app and our technology tools and communications tools, we help them stay connected and in touch, and then they can, put their minds and their efforts to doing all the substantive work that elevates the industry. And we just are in turn so grateful for your company and for Micah's leadership as well. So it's been a great experience, and thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It's great kind of sitting down and touching base with you.
For all of our listeners who are not CRN members, now is the time to jump onto the website and become a member. Gretchen has definitely given a great overview of all the resources that are provided, and it just makes each of our companies better. And so Gretchen, again, I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast. It has been such a joy to have you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And I so appreciate the opportunity to hop on and chat with you about CRN, Stratum, and this amazing industry we're in together.
Well, we will be definitely chatting again because I've really enjoyed this. All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Bye.